So that's a pretty nice house. They've got another more humble abode there, but that's a quite nice house. The roof is nicely done. That's what they call colour roof. It's painted from the factory, so it comes back and front painted, and is a much higher quality and a much nicer looking roof. And they've well, certainly part of it looks like they had some damage from the typhoon that's taken off some of the guttering, but they did have the guttering on that before then. Quite a nice house. I don't know why, but Filipinos seem to neglect painting. I'm taking it that that's a Filipino-owned house. I don't know why. So we're going along. This is the road that leads more directly to the road for Talabong, and as you can see, it's it's just a hard-packed road, which will be awful in the rain, and we've been having plenty of that lately. So what we're looking at is some of the houses that have been built along this road. It's little travelled because it's in terrible state, but they've had some work done on it recently with a backhoe. Doesn't look like it was done with a grader, but a backhoe. Now there's some damage there. Look, this is the municipal hall, and there was what was once a fairly nice basketball court. Not anymore. And here you got the medical centre there, and that covered in area. I better put my safety belt on, otherwise we'll be plagued by that noise. Yeah, that one. Okay, got that stopped. So that's where you go if there's anything to learn about what's happening in the barangay. It will be there. As you can see, this is it's no great road, marginally better in parts than ours, but it all comes down in the end to what the gradients are and how. And there's a wrecked purok, which is a meeting place. They got quite a big house down there. Look, it looks like it's had the roof has been reworked, but that's not one of the houses that I was really talking about. Over there, which you'll be able to see soon, and if this gentleman will get his bike started and get his lady on board, we'll all be able to go. See, so there's three actual sites here for houses. We met the couple that own this house here, Greg, I think, either Greg or Gary, and his good lady was talking about that house. Very nice house, nicely done roof. One day I'll go up there and impose and ask, can I have a look? But then there's what appears to be like an anonymous walled off property, but there's no house on it. But what they've done what we did in Burgos. They've put a nice, well, in parts, a nice wall around. And that one, that's a very nice house there, look. Nothing simple about that. They've thought of everything. All the guttering is hooked up so that the rainwater actually could be stored. But it's very nice the way they've done the forecourt and the surround. Nicely thought out. Must have been an architect. See, very nice. Love it. Not my choice of colours, but then. So there's a house next. Now that's a fairly simple house. all of the upright support pillars are all in wood and then joined in between with the block. We did a lot of our houses like that, but we didn't take the block all the way up. We took the block up to, as you can see there, up to about the bottom of the window. Here's some kids with a bike, which I guarantee has no pedals on it. It seems to be the way. So you'll see along this road, you'll see a lot of damage from the typhoon. You can't get away from it. It will take years to get back, and possibly it will never be the same. There's a little house being put up there, and one there. Puppies and kittens all running around. I'm not pointing these out as grand houses, of course. These are basic living accommodation structures. Nicely done roof in wood. The Filipinos know how to do a roof. All of that timber there, none of those trusses will have been made up as on the ground trusses made up according to a jig. They won't have done that. They'll hand pieces of wood up to the men who are making the roof, and they'll measure and cut the thing and notch it wherever it's needed, and they'll do it up there while they're balancing on the skimpiest kind of scaffolding in their slippers, what people call differently. I call them thongs. I think that's what they call them in Australia. Thongs. All it does is it just goes in between your big toe and the next one, and that's what holds it on. Filipinos are amazing in wearing those, because they wear them, they get wet. I can't walk in a pair of those kind of slippers if they're wet. I'm falling all over the place. Clumsy foreigner. But they can. I've seen guys in the rain leap from the back of a moving jeepney in those slippers and be able to land completely safely, like a damn mountain goat. And all the kids wear those. Everybody wears those. See, they've had some work done here, but not quite sure what the intention was, because they haven't smoothed anything out. That's why I say it must have been a backhoe rather than a grader. A grader would have scraped that top off, and it would be much nicer than that. So I'm thinking not a grader. I could be wrong. So we're back on the road now. This is the National Highway. At the moment where we are, what you're looking at now is just a two-lane highway. This is the National Highway. This is it between towns. And you'll see with the truck that's coming right down now, you see how much of the lane they take up. They take up almost all of the lane. Now, that means it's very risky for anybody else on the other side, because there's really not that much room. In the Raptor, which is quite wide, quite a bit wider than the run-of-the-mill Ranger, because of the flares that are on the side, which I think you can probably see down there now. See, look, oh look at that. And there's one of the white vans that I always talk about being on a suicide run. He's approaching, look now, he's approaching the brow of the hill on the opposite side of the road. Yes, it's more exciting in the Philippines. Well, that's all from me. on this particular talk. Thanks for being with me.